Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. Today I wanted to talk to you about a common misconception I hear all the time regarding narcissists, and that is about their feelings for themselves. People often say, no, they don't hate themselves, they love themselves. That's what narcissism is. Not exactly. Narcissism is malignant self-love. That means toxic or poisonous. And it's really a misnomer because it's the opposite that's true. Narcissists are pathologically focused on themselves and their own needs. That's definitely true. But this doesn't translate into love. It's need. That's all they have and all they understand. This is hard for other people that are not narcissists to understand because their internal experiences are more evolved and sophisticated than that. The narcissist's internal experiences are not evolved and sophisticated. They are primitive and immature. It's like a child, a really young one. I want, I need, that's it. To put it another way, you don't take breaths because you love yourself. You take breaths because you have to in order to stay alive. It's just a reaction caused by your need for air. The narcissist works the same way. Now you might say, a lot of the things they freak out over are not needs like air or food. Air and food are important. And that's true. They do freak out over stuff that's really silly. But that's where the self-hatred comes in. The narcissists hate themselves so badly that they don't believe they deserve anything, not even to live in some cases. As a way to try and counter the horrible feelings that come with that belief, they have created an opposite belief in themselves. And this one says that they deserve everything. Remember, the black and white thinking, it's either black or it's white. There's no in the middle, there's no in between, there's no gray area. I don't deserve nothing, I deserve everything. And I say, quote, created this second opposing belief because it's not a true belief. It's just a smokescreen, it's a fake. It's a defense mechanism against the seriously toxic self-hatred these people are drowning in all the time. So what happens is, the idea that they deserve everything is fake, and therefore it's very fragile. When they don't get any one of the things in the category of everything, it destroys that very frail fiction, and it reiterates the idea that they deserve nothing. Because this idea that they should have literally everything is ludicrous, unrealistic, and unreasonable, they are confronted with the truth and the reality of their self-hatred over and over again every time they can't have something. These feelings overwhelm them, and because they have such poorly formed and immature defense systems against things like that, they just melt down. It's the worst thing that ever happened, and because of that, they truly feel like they can't exist. This fiction is all that stands between them and suicide. When it gets disrupted, that is very dangerous for them, and they react that way. To us it seems stupid, but to them it's extremely threatening. That's why they melt down. They can't do anything else. Their entire being is focused on pretending that those things, those feelings, are not true. It's like a toddler having a tantrum over spilled milk. The child cries because they don't understand that there's more milk and it can be cleaned up, it's not that big of a deal, etc. In other words, they cry because their understanding of the world is very immature, and so are their emotions. They have no control over their emotions or their behavior. The only difference is a toddler does not feel self-hatred. They are simply responding to emotion and need. The milk got spilled and they wanted it. Now they feel bad and sad and they're going to scream and cry about it. Most children will grow out of this behavior as they learn to control their emotions and as their understanding of the world increases. This does not happen for the narcissist. Instead of growing out of that behavior, they grow into it. One of the big reasons for this is that narcissists are attacked 24 hours a day by a sadistic, vicious superego that assaults them with cruelty, lies, and insults just nonstop. Think of the kind of things they say to you. They're hearing that and worse in their own heads constantly. And it's troubling to me because many people seem to be happy to learn that, and while it's understandable to hate the narcissist, if the narcissist hadn't been hearing that voice 24 hours a day for their entire lives, they probably wouldn't act the way that they do. That's the voice they're listening to instead of you when you try to explain that they're wrong about how you feel and what you did and what you said. That's the voice that tells them you hated them since the day you met them, that you're evil, and that you're trying to control, manipulate, and destroy them. Every single thing they do is a defense mechanism against that voice and the overwhelming feelings that it creates within them. Being happy it exists seems a little counterproductive. Just food for thought. At any rate, the grandiose expectations, the hysterical tantrums, the complete and total self-focus, and every single maladaptive behavior we observe in the narcissist is the result of trying to deny the self-hatred that that little voice provokes in them. The superego's voice says, "You're garbage, you're trash." Then the narcissist responds with, "I'm not garbage, I'm extremely valuable, I matter a lot." The superego's voice says, "Nobody cares about you, you're worthless." The narcissist responds with, "I am the most important thing." The superego's voice says, "You deserve nothing, you're scum." The narcissist responds with, "I deserve everything, I'm the best there is." The superego's voice says, "You're stupid, you're dumb." The narcissist responds with, "I'm highly intelligent. Other people are stupid. I can prove that because I fool them and I manipulate them and I trick them. Everything they do is trying to shut that little voice up and prove that it isn't true." The superego voice says, "No one wants you." The narcissist responds with, "Everyone wants me. Look at all these people that I've slept with." And on and on and on and on that way. If you look at the narcissist behavior with this understanding, it all falls into place. But even if someone doesn't understand any of this psychological mumbo-jumbo type of stuff, there's no way that you can take a serious look at a narcissist behavior and conclude that this is a person with balanced self-esteem who cares for themselves at all. People who love themselves do not behave the way that narcissists behave. It just does not happen. People who love themselves don't sabotage their own efforts on a regular basis. They don't cause horrible problems in their own lives for no reason. They don't destroy good relationships, tank good jobs, turn loved ones against them, alienate their children, over-medicate themselves on drugs and alcohol, embarrass themselves repeatedly. People who love themselves do not do these things. These things happen because the narcissist is so poisoned with self-hatred. They spend their entire lives trying to pretend that that's not true and hide from these feelings because they can't handle them, but the facade is so thin that as soon as any little thing happens that contradicts it, the whole thing just falls apart. I've had people ask me, who are they trying to kid? And the question is facetious, of course, they're not really being serious, but the answer is deadly serious. They are trying to fool themselves. In a very real way, literally, they're trying to fool themselves into being able to buy into this fake image that they're portraying. They don't want to believe that little voice. People often think the narcissist is trying to fool them, but they're not. Not really. They're trying to fool themselves. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Even at the height of their most abusive behavior, even with smear campaigns and gaslighting and everything else, the motive has nothing to do with you or anyone else. It's about getting some relief from that toxic, smothering self-hatred. And that's it. I hope this clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by littleshaman.org. That's me, the Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you and have a wonderful day.